Hi guys, this is Simeon from Swedish Homestead. Welcome to the channel. I want to start a new series, several videos that will talk about the financial aspect of the whole homesteading. And it's going to be very interesting because I want to involve you guys with your questions in it. So as this goes along, starting with this video, please feel free to leave comments underneath and just ask questions. I feel this is too big of a subject to cover in one Q&A. And I'm going to talk about both how we struggled to fulfill the dream here when my parents first came here, wanting to live on a homestead, and how it was financially. And then I'm also going to talk about the transition that me and my wife and kids are doing now from leaving to the town shop and going full-time here. So it's going to talk both about the more homestead, small aspects, trying to generate income, make it work, towards a small farm even. So it's going to be very interesting. Chickens, cows, goats, sheep, geese, ducks, a sawmill, chainsaws, forest, lake, garden. There's so many aspects, and we have many of those here on our homestead. And I think, even though we are in Sweden and many of you guys are all over the world, there are a lot of things that are very similar, especially in the Western cultures, that you guys can benefit from, mistakes that we have done, struggles that we have had. You will really enjoy this, and I want to cover the different subjects, the different animals, the different parts, and talk about them, and just see if I can really answer the questions that you have, and also explain how we are thinking and how we are calculating this whole thing. Today I want to talk about the pigs and the cows that we have, and share a few numbers there and explain to you why we have them, what our goal with them is at the moment, and talk about the financial aspect of it a little bit. Okay, let me say first real quick that I'm going to use the term homestead in these upcoming videos, more for the live your life and grow your own food, more self-sufficiency. And I'm going to use the term farm for when we go the next step and try to earn money off of the homestead, even though it might just be a very small operation, but that's just how I want to use the term so we can clarify that. So here we have the pigs, and right now they are not at all for selling any kind of meat or anything, so it's totally a homestead size operation, but we still use them for areas on the farm where we work commercially. For example, you see here the garden area where the pigs are right now, and check out the video Bringing Home the Bacon, where I fenced this in, where I put the pigs here, and you get an idea of how many weeds and stuff there were here, and the pigs are preparing this area for free at the same time as they grow. So even though they are just for meat for us right now, they are just as valuable for me right now. They will turn deep beddings, they will prepare garden areas. The thought is to bring the pigs here first, and then the chickens when the pigs have done the rough job. I save money on the tiller, I save money I can do something else instead of standing behind the tiller. Plus these guys grow. Yes, there's an input of food, and we can talk about that at a different time, but I just want to get you the idea why we have the pigs and what we do with them. And you know, the most expensive thing is when you go to the farming part of it all, when you want to earn money, it's your income, like your hourly payment, so your wages. So let's say $20 or $30. You should really calculate it in a realistic way, what you feel like you should make. And if you think the tilling and all of that, you know, you have to buy the machine, you have to do the oil change, you have to maintain it, you have to buy the fuel, you have to be behind it while you till this, and the tiller does not get the weeds out, not the roots out, and all of that the pigs do. So you can't just go and say this much food is what the pig costs and all of that. We eventually want to turn this pig operation into a commercial operation where we raise hogs in the forest, but we haven't come that far. The return of money is longer than poultry, so we will focus on poultry here on the homestead. But right now, I calculate about 2.5 kilos of 2 kilos to 2.5 kilos of feed for the pigs, and that's not in the winter time. Food scraps are not enough, and then you want to buy you will need to buy less feed in the summer when they're in the forest. So you can just calculate, these pigs, they go fine with crushed oats and corn and barley. Corn is very expensive here because it doesn't grow here naturally in Sweden. The bigger the animals, the more expensive the infrastructure, the longer the return of money. And you don't need the pigs. Chickens can also till really well for you. But we have had some infrastructure here. But with these pigs, for example, even in our climate, it would be completely fine to build a small shelter out of plywood and put straw in it. And these guys will make it 70 degrees Fahrenheit, room temperature, 20 degrees Celsius in there easily, even when it's negative 10 Celsius outside. It's they're just good like that, and they love being outside. And so you can really think of the infrastructure. That's one of the keys to be able to go both into homesteading and into farming. You can't think industrial. You have to think of mobile shelters and inexpensive infrastructure. And with an electric fencing system and just a shelter, you can actually keep animals for much less money than you think. Now the cows is a whole nother story. They are bigger, they need more expensive infrastructure. The return of money is even longer, often a couple of years or even longer. And even here it's the same thing, that it's very important to realize that if you do it the right way and you work with nature, the value that these cows have is much more than, for example, just the meat they produce. I love feeding them hay because they produce compost that we save and we take advantage of. And if you look at a cow pie as something worthless, or their waste as something that's just causing you work, then you need to rethink, because they drop dollars worth, a lot of money out of their back, and you need to capture that. So this deep bedding, yes, the cows cost us the hay and all of that, but this deep bedding will produce hundreds of liters of compost that I know what's in it. I know it's not polluted. I know it's just pure cow manure from cows that were grass-fed or hay-fed and that had no antibiotics, nothing. I know what goes on the garden. I know what the vegetables will get, and I don't have to buy this expensive, high-quality product anywhere. Then the cows, when they're out in the summer, not only will they produce topsoil by grazing perennials on the field, they will also drop all of their manure, which gives a habitat for lots of insects, and then my chickens will pick up 50% of their diet off the pastures, and I will save a lot of money on that. So there are a lot of these aspects involved. I will share in a different video, hopefully, the more exact numbers, what it actually costs and how you can do it more efficient. Here I just want to give the general idea of how you can use these animals. So we use them to increase the value of the pastures, to create topsoil, to create compost, to create free chicken feed, and at the end we get the meat from the cows. And you can have cows for milking and create your own butter, your own cream and stuff. Right now the cows are for us on a homestead size. Eventually we want to turn it into a commercial operation. I have no idea, if it's 50 head or if it's going to be bigger, but this is how we do it with the cows at the moment. and you need to see that everything an animal does as something of potential value for you. Something that goes for animals as well as machines is that once you have them, you want them to be as effective and efficient as possible. If you buy an ATV or a saw or a tractor, and it's the same with the cows and the pigs and all the other animals, that the more they do for you. A greenhouse is expensive if you just have it for growth in the summer, but if you have it full of animals that actually produce the compost that you're gonna plant in the winter time, then it becomes a whole different story. If you have the cows and you just feed them and the droppings go out on the pasture like it has done for us the first half of the winter season, it's expensive. But like this, you add a whole nother value to that. So, you know, then when the cows are done here, when they're out in the spring, we put the pigs in here for a few weeks and they will turn this. They will have fun, they will grow from the corn I put in here. And you know, there's just so many different uses, and there are so many smart farmers and people out in the world and on YouTube that have worked with this and developed this stuff. You can benefit so much from just watching this, and it's such a perfect system. You know, you can always get better, always get more efficient, and you really have to think that way. Both if you live the homestead dream and want to live it, your time's valuable and your money is valuable. And many people come in with money and then they run out of money. You know, do it in a way that it can at least go zero, no cost on a homestead, and you can produce your own food. And on the farm, you need to earn money with it. So we'll talk lots more about this in the upcoming videos. This video is the first one in this series about the numbers on the homestead and on the farm. And this can be a long series, because in this video, please guys, if you have questions, ask them, and I will try to include them in the upcoming videos. This is also a more general video to give you the idea how we think and how we want to put all the different animals to use. When I will talk about the chickens, which we will focus on commercially this year, I will try to give you more exact numbers, how we calculate and do all of that. I hope you're excited about this and are excited to gain from the mistakes and knowledge and all of that we have gained and done over the past years and are still doing. And feel free to weigh in with your opinions, with your experience, and ask questions. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.